So it was the morning of Tuesday the 8th of May 2018, and I decided to go out for a bike ride before work. I figured since the cherry blossoms were in bloom, High Park would be a good destination to go to. So from my home in the annex, I got on Bloor and started riding west. The Bloor bike lanes are great, but they only go as far as Shaw Street. So the rest of the way I had to ride on a road that didn't have bike lanes, which wasn't too bad. This early in the morning, it was pretty quiet. Here I am riding underneath the West Toronto Rail Path, which is a cool little trail that I'll have to cover in another video sometime. And then eventually I arrived at High Park, which is about 5 kilometers from where I started. At 400 acres, High Park is the largest park within the city of Toronto. So even after living in Toronto for 5 years, this is actually my first time being in High Park while the cherry blossoms were in full bloom, so I wasn't exactly sure which way to go to find them, but thankfully the city put up signs all throughout the park with arrows showing you which way to go. So I initially saw this cluster of trees over on the left here, which looked pretty impressive. And even early on a Tuesday morning, there were plenty of other people out admiring them as well. But I continued my way down the hill following the signs until I reached the pathway which leads to Grenadier Pond, which is where the largest cluster of cherry trees are in this park. So these trees are Japanese cherry trees, and these were a gift from the citizens of Tokyo to the city of Toronto. The original trees were donated back in 1959, and there was 2,000 of them that were donated, and they were planted all throughout High Park, with the largest concentration of them being planted in this area right here. At the bottom of the hill was Grenadier Pond, which was looking very calm and still this morning. Rather than continuing along this path, I decided to turn around and go back up the same way that I came down so I could admire those cherry blossoms one more time. The cherry trees typically start to bloom in late April or early May, and the blossoms only last for about a week. So you really want to get out and make the most of it while they are blossoming. As you can see, that's why there are so many people here, even though it's a weekday and it's pretty early in the morning. If you live in Toronto and you're available in the next 5 or 6 days, I would strongly encourage you to come out and experience them for yourself. You won't be disappointed. Given that we've had a fairly cold April, it's no surprise that the blossoms didn't come until fairly late this year. So after that, I decided to continue on along the main High Park loop back towards the entrance where we started. The roads of High Park are fairly bike friendly, and they don't have a whole lot of traffic on them on a weekday morning. So back from near the main entrance, I got onto a road which is called Spring Road, which heads down in the southeast direction through a valley where there's an off-leash dog park. I didn't happen to notice any signs saying so, but I'm not entirely sure I was supposed to be riding my bike through this part of the park. At the end of Spring Road, I climbed up a bit of a hill and then exited the park along High Park Boulevard. The ride back home was fairly uneventful. After getting off of High Park Boulevard, I continued on onto a road called Fermanagh, which has this nice contraflow bike lane on it. Eventually I went north along Lansdowne Avenue, then turned right to go east along Lappin, then Hallam, and then finally DuPont. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed joining me on this early morning bike ride on May the 8th. Please leave a comment below and let me know what you thought, and thanks for watching.